Hey everyone, this is Soul. This is coffee with me. I didn't pour the coffee, so yeah, I'm a bit busy hugging hamburger here. I'm pretty sure this dude's name is Hamburger or Tofu. I think there was another stuffed puppy that I had. It was a white one, and that one I think was called Tofu. I got that one at a pet store as a gift, but then this one came first. This guy, hello. Yeah, I think I named him Hamburger. No, D named him Hamburger. But yes, it's a new week, and it's coffee time. But first, let's say hi to the good folks at home, such as Fallen99. What's up, dude? What's up to Jalzon? What's up to Magic Caliber? What's up to Pac-Man? What's up to Manergy? And what's up to everyone else who's going to be joining us today? All of you, beautiful digital smiling voices who are going to be joining us today. A message that you dropped last night. I didn't see it. I don't see much on like Twitch archives or anything like that. But yeah, I hope everyone has had a good day, a good pleasant day so far, or whatever it was. For those of you who missed yesterday's stream, I did stream yesterday too, and I was playing Tales of Arise and having a good time, and I have like a little bit to say about that. With regards to even World of Warcraft, WoW, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. But first, there was a tweet that was sent out by Dan, aka Murgum, aka Mr. GM, with regards to the upcoming Phase 2 of Burning Crusade Classic. That's still a thing. Yes, absolutely. So he said in the tweet, and I'm not going to pull it up. I'm too busy. The puppy's like, no, don't let go of me. He makes it's a little bit warm in here, so I'm like, dude, you're kind of like, yeah, you're a little warm. Anyway, he said, with regards to Phase 2 being opened up worldwide, it's going to be kind of a worldwide release. It's all going to unlock at once. He says, so they can do a worldwide release for Classic, but not for Retail. Some of us refer to it as Shadowlands or Modern WoW or whatever. And I at least wanted to like touch on that a little bit. These are fresh thoughts. I haven't really thought it through yet. I was just like, ooh, look, something to talk about. Yes, free content. Thanks, Dan. The way I see it, worldwide release for Classic, it's been a thing, and it's trying to be a thing in when it came to worldwide releases of, well, you know what. Most things have been coming out at the same time, at least with regards to like expansion launches. All comes out at the same time. Everyone gets to enjoy their jollies. It gets a little weird with the resets for like one day. Oh well, but at least everyone gets to share in the moment. They're able to, just kind of, just do their own thing, and otherwise have like this whole shared experience with the launch. Now, with regards to this right here with Phase 2, and now we're kind of getting a patch. Not yes, but not really. We're kind of getting a patch, and we're seeing a model that I had talked about before, where, well, why can't Blizzard just release the patch and have all the content out, have all that stuff ready to go, but then actually launch it simultaneously worldwide? I feel like Dan's statement is totally sound. Like, hey, why don't they do that? But I think there's an answer to that, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that WoW these days, it's like way more complicated than it was before. There's like so much going on with regards to unlocks for this and trying to farm that and working on this, and that speaks to other critiques too about how WoW just does way too much, and there's like so much going on and all these systems to learn and yada yada yada. And it can get rough there. At the same time, though, I think to myself, well, come on, dude, it's classic content. This is legacy content. We've done it before. Everyone knows how it's done. And also the release schedule of how they did Classic for Burning Crusade, it's a little bit wonky. Like it defined time gating, because originally, with the original BC Classic release, we had a whole bunch of stuff that was out like all at the same time. Like it was everything but Black Temple, I think. Crap. Okay, maybe I don't remember too well, but at least Serpent Shrine Cavern and the Eye were available at launch. It just took a while to get there because people were farming for those raid materials, and people were just kind of gearing up, and people were still kind of dumb, and they didn't really know what they were doing. So it took a while. These days, though, with the phase 1 and phase 2 and all that stuff, now we're having like this or was it phase 3? No, it's phase 2. We're having this weirdness of people having the opportunity to gear through Karazhan and Gruuls and Mags and just getting nasty with the gear, so that when the raids do finally open up, that stuff's gonna get totally bulldozed. It's gonna be taken down within an hour and some minutes for like both raids, I'm guessing. And this is just with regards to like top guilds. Of course, it's not literally that easy. There's going to be a good chunk of folks that are going to have a good time in there and have a normal kind of progressive sort of pace to it, and that's fine. But with regards to like the release and things like that, I think that's in a way, maybe Blizzard just doesn't care as much. It's like they care, but they don't care. They care enough to want to have that shared experience, but they don't care enough where it's like, that did not come out very well at all. It's a weird, I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to get my thoughts out there proper. But it's a weird mix on how, maybe they could do something like that, but maybe it's just not a big deal. Or maybe they care in the sense that, okay, they want everyone to start at the same time because it's going to get cleared so fast. I remember when they launched some of the classic phases, some people were pretty pissed off because, this guild, they fell behind, with regards to like the race and whatnot. They were like, oh, this guild fell behind because servers took a little bit too long to get to come up or something like that. And that was like, it was that sensitive because raids were cleared in a measurement of minutes as opposed to hours or days, which is what we're used to. No, great. I didn't check my vault yet. Maybe I'll check that before I get into the Tales game. But forget what I think. That doesn't matter. I don't even have skin in the game anyway. I don't play BC Classic but going with how that could affect future releases of modern WoW. I don't know. Maybe I think it's something that Blizzard could strive for with regards to, well, maybe they could at least have patches come out at the same time. Raids are a bit of a different story because I know that, we all know that when it comes to the raids, they take a little bit longer to clear. Oftentimes it takes at least one reset, maybe not all the time. But those sorts of things, they do factor in, and they are a thing that happens. But, if you guys want to throw in your thoughts, whether you're on stream or on the VOD, feel free. But yeah, maybe I'll check that out. I'll check out the vault in a little bit. But first, I wanted to talk about a little bit about Tales of Arise. Not so much the game itself, because, most folks want to hear more about WoW stuff. Look at his feet. There was something that I was really impressed by on my first day of playing through Tales. I noticed very quickly that they have a particular way of storytelling that I really, really liked. And I will show you guys because I went as far as getting footage for this stuff because I wanted you guys to share and see what this is all about. So, let me get the thingy.
So this whole you not feeling pain thing, is that for real?
Why would I lie about it? And why would you care anyway?
No, it's just, I can't imagine what it's like, that's all.
As a slave, I'd say it has its advantages and disadvantages.
Oh?
On the upside, when Renan soldiers push me around, I hardly flinch. The downside's that I get injured without even noticing. Which means I could be knocking on death's door and not even realize it.
Really?
Sure. I may be numb to pain, but it doesn't make me immortal or anything. Still, I wouldn't have noticed any of this if someone hadn't pointed it out to me. If not for my fellow slaves, I'd be long dead, lying in a ditch somewhere.
Cool. I kind of recovered there. So what I wanted to point out, a couple things here. So these sorts of skits, these are completely optional things that as you're playing through this game, you can miss all of it, right? You can skip through all of it. It's not, they're totally optional. They're not required to get item level to beat the game or anything like that. But what I want to point out are the way that they do panels, and speech. Well, mostly these panels, because I was saying it like a whole lot yesterday. I really like the way that that they tell story through these panels because it's low budget. And I was thinking to myself, hello everyone who's dropping in to say hi. What I really like about this is, like I said, it's low budget. And I was thinking about WoW, and I was thinking about how their sorts of cutscenes, some of them are really cool. But I'm thinking about like low budget things that can be easily whipped together, but still be able to tell some effective story here optionally. And I think about how 9.1 ended with their whole and towards the end, there's a bunch of characters, and you can just with a dialogue option, you can hit that stay a while and listen, and then they start doing their talkie and stuff like that. And so you hear some dialogue. I don't think any of it's spoken, unfortunately, which is like a big takeaway that I would love to see. I'd love to see more spoken dialogue, but I think something like this is a really good vehicle to see visually how that would work, as opposed to just seeing it on the field, which I do appreciate too. One thing that WoW I think does pretty well is to whenever they do have voiceovers while you're out in the field and in combat, like it feels kind of organic. It is kind of weird where you can kind of run away from people and then the talking head follows you instead. But that's beside the point. What I really like about these, and what I could kind of see in WoW, or I can see an add-on maker doing something like this, where you have a certain panel here, you have a cheat background, you have certain characters, or even your character up here, because what you see right here, these aren't pre-rendered. Like this costume, those ears and whatnot, those are things that you can optionally put on. So it'd be easy enough to, again, throw like a plain ass background here, have a panel with, that has basically a cropped image of, the two characters, and their lips are moving, I guess, but limited animations. And then jumping from, a new panel slides in so you can get a close up, so you can kind of convey what the character's talking about. Back and forth with, and I think it's really effective. I think it's really easy, really effective. An add-on creator can probably pull something like this off. I don't have a clue how, so maybe I'm wrong. Here you could see like, okay, they just kind of did an overlay of color to show kind of a nostalgia, or, to show kind of a, this is a past event, something like that. It's kind of funny here because the original scenes here has this guy still on a mask, but since I've played through and the mask is since broken, when I go back to the original cutscene, it actually pulls something like this back up, which is kind of awkward. Peter, what Michael was trying to do there, that was a little bit different. What he tried to do, and what was ultimately blocked, was he wanted to voice over all of the existing text that didn't previously have voiceovers. And and that was the big no-no that Blizzard had to come down on that and protect their trademark. Because if you look at, because I think the idea was, and I've heard multiple Blizzard people say something like this, where people will look at an NPC and they'll have a certain image in their head, or they'll kind of have it in their head what that person sounds like, and for us to add voices later, for voices to be added later, kind of breaks that. It kind of breaks the experience for that. And so because of mostly trademark, Blizzard has to protect that, and so they don't allow revoicing over in game. stuff like that. So it's a little bit weird on that. But something like this, I'm mostly talking about like the way that they do like the paneling and how they can how they don't necessarily have to cut to certain angles and things like that. They can just utilize these sort of panels and just kind of take us back and forth. So that way, even though it's a weird kind of like comic format where we see each panel popping up and in. You see this guy here, but then now he has a different orientation because it's progressing a little bit, and it's really subtle. Like for the most part, they're all standing still. They just have you don't see the animations of them changing to different emotions. You just have this kind of transition as if it's like a comic book panel, and I think that's pretty neat. I would love to see an add-on creator try to pull something like this off in WoW. Someone can doctor something like this, and I think it would work great. I think it would be like really neat if they pulled, if someone could do something like that. But yeah, that was just me kind of gushing over like the way that they do these cutscenes, because I think to myself, like right now, WoW's cutscenes they can be hit or miss, and I'm not talking about cinematics. Like their pre-renders, I think they're awesome. But when it comes to the in-game cutscenes, we know that Taryn Gregory, he's now like the cinematic director. I don't know how that translates to, is he also in charge of cutscenes and stuff? But I know I figure one thing about him taking up the new position is that it gives him the leeway to possibly, hey, let's think of new tech. Let's think of new ways to tell story in game. And if something like this can be a part of it, and I'm not saying that Blizzard should pick up something like this exactly, but if they can be inspired by other games and what they do, they don't necessarily have to go the old route of we got to make like this, we got to make full cutscenes with animations and stuff like that. And of course, we have to, I'm sure commenters will, they'll refer to Final Fantasy XIV, which has a fantastic engine that supports tons of cutscenes. Those people may not know that 14 uses the same engine that 15 runs off of, and that's a very cinematic experience too. What 14 also does to kind of build on their repertoire of cinematic ability is that they slowly release more and more emotes. They have, they have the tech, they have the engine and structure to build more and more emotes, and from there you can see like the evolution of their cutscenes progress more and more because there's like new stuff, there's new emotes and things like that. WoW challenges itself by having so many different races, and there's some freebies, right? Like elves are the same. What other close variations are? There's different orc races that are the same thing. Different Tauren that are the same thing. You know what I'm talking about here. But they have such a wide variety of different characters that making emotes would be arguably tougher. But I do feel like Blizzard should go all in and put a lot more into creating better experiences, either by going low budget or by building on it by, making more emotes, things like that. But that's kind of the takeaways. Those are kind of the takeaways that I wanted to share today. Of course, you guys can share your thoughts or talk to me during stream or wherever. But for now, let's get to some video games.